Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my brothers and sisters on this amazing webinar in different parts of the globe. I want to take this special moment to welcome each and everyone. Today is Sunday and it's Pentecost Sunday. Welcome. So today, as you guys know, we do have a host, the presenter, our own presenter for today, for this evening, for this afternoon. He is someone that each and everyone knows about him.
Thank you.
He is someone that everyone knows about him. He is someone that joined On Passive 2 years ago. He went to his back office and studied everything, all our products. And if you ask him questions about those products, because I noticed that a lot of people have been calling him, asking him questions about our back office and our products, he's able to give you all the answers. To tell you guys the truth, he is an asset to this company. Let us welcome the one and only Engineer Michael. Come along, my brother.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Benny, excuse me. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you, everybody, for another Sunday that we come and we just teach ourselves what we need to know about our systems and how they work. Now, we will roll in a different way today. We will try to, we will get an update of what has been happening. And then we will go to the presentation of the day, which will be single sign-on. Then we will know more about what is happening. So before I start, let me share my screen. We will be talking about, what's it again? Sorry about that. We'll be talking about single sign-on, what single sign-on and all of that. Okay, and what single sign-on we have something that is called user management. How it is connected to it. Okay, so but what we want to do now, we want to get to know a little bit about some updates. Okay, so our CEO came out and he told us that the founding positions will be closing on the 22nd of this month. So if you people have your guests that you brought them here, this is one of the best times to come in because the doors are still open for them. Also, he made us understand that our data center will be up and running, which is Monday, tomorrow. He also made us understand that we have he has created a brand new department, which is AI complete, not induced and no hybrid, so pure AI. He also made us understand that very soon they are reopening the campaigns in United Arab Emirates in different other positions. Then also, like he has been telling us so many times, he said when the data center is up, they'll be migrating our data from where it is hosted now to our own data center so that we can have autonomy on our own products and what we have there, right? Our own data. Now, what is single sign-on? Single sign-on, what is it? You remember when we do presentations, we'll tell you that all OnPassive products are in one place. You need just one single sign-on. When you sign on and you get into the system and you start seeing the products. So we want to see it today in details, what all that is all about. Oh.
Sort of keep up.
Okay. I don't know what is happening to my thing is uploading. 1 second, people. Sorry, people. I don't know what happened to the PowerPoint. It's restarting. Yeah, so okay, so let me look SOS. Oh, okay, let me write it in full single sign on. See here. Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to take your time, but it's just want to be stubborn. Okay, we're talking about single sign-on. So, but who am I? My name is Michael Ojong-Tambia. I'm a petroleum engineer. I'm also a system reliability engineer. I work with IBM. If you know about the IBM company, International Business Machine, is an IT company, one of the first in the world. They used to be before. I live in Calgary, Alberta, and I joined OnPassive on the November 17, 2020. So the company we're talking about is always OnPassive, and our CEO is Mr. Ash Mufare, who is the founder of our company. This is his picture, and this is how his name is spelled. We have over we have 1,300,000 people above that number now. So what is single sign-on? So single sign-on is a session and user authentication services that permits a user to use one set of login credentials. For example, a name and password to access multiple applications. Now, single sign-on can be used by enterprise, small organizations, and individuals to ease the management of various usernames and passwords. So what does it mean? All of us, we have logged in into our OnPassive system, which is our Go, or it was Go Founder before. Now it is our O Founders platform. When you log in inside, it will ask you for your username, which is your email address, and it asks you for a password that you generated while creating that account. So when you log in with that information, it takes you right inside the system. So when you go to the system, you will go to your back office. That is where you will see now the products. Now, we have something here. In a basic web single sign-on services, an agent module on the application server retrieves the specific authentication credentials for an individual user from a dedicated single sign-on policy server, while authenticating the user agent, a user repository, such as a lightweight directory access protocol or LDAP directory. Okay, the service authenticates the end user for all their applications the user has been given rights to, and eliminates future password prompts for individual applications during the same session. So let's explain this thing, break it very down for you to understand. Dr. Benny works with the government of the US. Auntie Mary Pendy also works with the government of the US. Now, Auntie Mary Pendy is a nurse. Dr. Benny is a cybersecurity analyst. Okay, let's say both of them, they were working in the same office like nurses. Now, they are working as nurses. Now, when you create them, when they are created, when they are employed, they create a database for them, okay, in their system, in the government system. So what are the databases? That will have your first name, your last name, have your date of birth, country of birth, your social security number. All of that information and your address will be in that system when they hire you. So let's say now Auntie Mary Pendy was transferred from her location that she works in Virginia to Houston, Texas. When she goes to Houston, Texas, she doesn't need to go and create a new account again because it was created in a centralized system, okay? In the Linux world, they call it Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, which is the LDAP you see here. And in the Windows environment, it is called Active Directory. So when your system is created, the only thing now Auntie Mary will need when she goes to Houston, Texas to take off duty, the only thing she needs, they have a code. She will give that code to wherever she wants to go and work. And when they punch it inside the system, they will see that she is an employee with that. Let's say, for instance, let's say she worked with Methodist Hospital and there's a Methodist Hospital in Houston. So when she was, but the location that she was hired was Maryland or Baltimore or Virginia. So when she goes to Houston, Texas, she has just an identification number that they will punch into the system and they will know that, oh, this lady has been hired. And that's what we're trying to talk here about the LDAP and all of that, you know, Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, when you are being hired in an organization. Now, how does sign-on work? Single sign-on, how does it work? Okay, single sign-on is a Federated Identity Management, FIM management, and the use of such a system is sometimes called identity federation. Now, OAuth, which stands for Open Authorization and is pronounced OAuth, is the framework that enables an end user's account information to be used by third-party services, such as Facebook, without exposing the user's password. Now, OAuth acts as an intermediary on behalf of the end user by providing their services with an access token that authorizes specific account information to be shared. Now, when a user attempts to access an application from the service provider, the service provider will send a request to the identity provider for authentication. Now, the service provider will then verify their authentication and log in their user in. Now, let's see this diagram. Let me explain it to you. We're talking about single sign-on. This is a user. Let me say this is me. I log into my system, into my OnPassive system or on the platform of OFounder. This is me. When I log in, I go now to see products. This is app number 1, which is product number 1, app number 2, product number 2, and app number 3, product number 3. Let's say these products are like this. Let's say this first one is oatmeal. This is oatmeal. And this second one here, let's say it's O Connect. Oh, that's 0. connect. And let's say the other one, this third one here is Obless. So this is the scenario. You sign on into your system. This is me signing on into my system. I sign on, okay? Then when I sign on, I get now O-Mail, I get O-Connect, I get O-Bless. That's how simple it is. Okay, that's the mechanism of single sign-on. That's all it means. But we have to go a little bit deeper to really understand what really happens, right? When you sign on and you go like that and up and down, right? Okay. Now, type of single sign-on configuration. So we have some single sign-on services uses protocols such as Kerberos and security session markup language, which is a SAML. And SML is an extensible markup language, XML, standard that facilitates the exchange of user authentications and authorization data across secure domains. SAM-based SOS or single sign-on services involve communications among the user. An identity provides that maintains a user directory and a service or service provider. Now, in the Kerberos-based setup, once the user's credentials, when the user credentials are provided, a ticket granting tickets TGD is issued. Now the TGD fetches service tickets for other applications the user wishes to access without asking the user to re-enter credentials. There's another one called a smart card. The smart card based single sign-on will ask an end user to use a card holding the sign-in credentials for their first login. Now, once the card is used, the user will not have to re-enter username or passwords. SOS or single sign-on smart cards will store either certificates or passwords. So some of these things, I will just go to one. I think I have a server up and running. I will show you people what that is all about. Now we have two authentications that we want to talk about. The type of authentications. One of it is called the password-based authentication. So the password-based authentication is the authentication that we use to log in into our unpassive O-Founder system. Password-based authentication. Then we have the second one, which is called the passwordless based authentication or key authentication. In the foreground, what you people sign in, what we log in into to get into our system in unpassive is called the graphical user interface. The GUI or the graphical user interface, graphical. So we use the graphical user interface to sign on into our unpassive system. Now, the people that work in there, in the background, they use what is called a CLI or the command line interface. So these people who work in the background, they don't log into the systems the same way that we log in. We as users or customers in the front side, right? We use the GUI, which is the graphical user interface. But all of those services are being harbored in a server, okay? A server has them hosted in there. Now, the people working in the background, which is us, we log into the servers differently, okay? You have a username and a password that you log in, but the interface is not as juicy as you see here. We have our own place called the command line interface. That's where we work, okay? So let's talk about how the password-based authentication is. The password-based authentication is the phenomenon whereby when you want to log in into your remote server or client server, you are prompted to enter a password before you can log in into your system. That is how it is. That's the passwords based. So if we want to log in onto our unpassive founders network or our system or our platform, it asks you for you need to put a username and a password. That's password-based authentication. Okay. Now we have the password-based or the passwordless-based or key authentication. What is that one? So key-based authentication is a kind of authentication that may be used as an alternative to password authentication. Instead of requiring user passwords, it is possible to confirm the client's identity by using asymmetric cryptography algorithms, okay, with public and private keys. So we have keys that we can generate. Instead of you to use those private and public, instead of you to use the password, you will use the keys, the RSA keys, okay? That's how we call them in the IT world. I will show you how that is, what that is, okay? I did not, Dr. Benny, you did not tell me, you see? You didn't tell me that I didn't clean up this place. Oh no, you are not fair. Judy, is that fair? It's not fair, right? Dr. Benny is not fair to me. Okay, so we have the user management system as well. I just talked about it a couple of minutes ago that I was talking about how when you go to a job, you are hired, okay? They create your credentials in the system, be it in Maryland or in Houston, wherever, you will still have that. We have the centralized user management. So there are two types of two ways of managing your user management, okay? We have the centralized and the standalone. So the centralized one is the one that I just told you about, that you are hired in a company called Methodist Hospital, which is found somewhere in Virginia. Then when you get transferred to Houston, Texas, you go there, they will see your information in the system because it was created centrally. Because you're working with a big hospital, which is owned by a government or a big body, you can always get that. So let's read it out here. It says, in centralized management, user accounts of all systems are managed in a centralized server system. In a server system, a directory service such as LDAP, which is Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, and ADS is Active Directory, is used for user management and authentication. Now, in this module, the local system sends the user's login information to their server system. Now, based on the information stored in the directory service, the server system authenticates whether the user is allowed or login or not. So all these parameters, we have a file that you can go in. I will show you people the file. So when you stay outside, when you log in and it doesn't go, you should understand what is going on so that you can explain it to people, okay? I will show you in a couple of minutes. So let's see this. This is LDAP, which is Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, and this is ADS. This ADF is Active Directory. Remember, I told you that the LDAP system is in the Linux operating systems, and the ADS or Active Directories are on their Windows environment. So let's see, these are computers. This one is logging to here, this one logging into here, this one logging into here, logging into here, logging into here, login, login. Okay, let's say that we have a user who was created in this, okay? Let's say we have a user that was in the centralized system. A user was created here and the user was called Dr. Benny. Dr. Benny. Okay, so we can say her first name will be B Ntinglet. That's her username. So her full name is Dr. Benny. Her username is B Ntinglet. So we have protocols that when we log in into these other servers, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the other server by the side, we can get her information. If this is Active Directory or LDAP, which is created centralized, right? So when she goes now to work in her, Dr. Benny goes now, she's created in Maryland, Baltimore, let's say. She's working in Baltimore. Then she was employed and created her information or data was created on this LDAP or Active Directory system right here in Baltimore or Maryland. Then when she got transferred to Ohio, she goes to her office. She just needs to log in into one of these servers and her user directory will come back. Yep. She just needs to go and just go there. Okay, let me show you what. And be English. So the only thing that she needs to do is to just type this command, get 10 pass WD, being Tinglet, and she will be found in that where she is in Ohio, because it was created centrally in this system called the Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. How marvelous it is. Science is marvelous, people. So this is what we're trying to explain to you here. So either of these computers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, either of them, when she goes and log in those computers, her user directory will come. And when she will go to somewhere, she will check on the home directory and she will find herself there. She will find herself there as /home/being Tinglet. So this is how she will see herself there. Just because she was created centrally on this LDAP system or Active Directory. Judy, is it entering? Is it understandable? Okay. So these are the how do we say? These are the mathematics, or these are the what happened when you try to log in into the system. Okay. Now we have one that is called a standalone system. Okay, the standalone system. How is it? So in standalone management, user accounts are managed in a local system. To store users' account details, text files are used. Now, in this module, depending on the local stored login information, the local system itself authenticates that the user is allowed to log in or not. So in this system, this one is not centralized. Dr. Benny was hired in Baltimore and she works only in the Baltimore office. So in that one, it is only in that one environment. When she goes to the transfer her to Ohio, she needs to go to the office and the office will now create her profile. Her profile is her data, first name, last name, date of birth, country of birth, her social security number, and all of that. Is it entering? Everybody, are we good? That's a standalone. So to show you the diagram, that's a standalone system. Just a computer just standing there. It has a CPU here. Then the screen is right here. It has the speakers, and so that's a standalone. The other one was a big one. It is centralized. It has the LDAP, which is Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, which is in the Linux environment. And we have the Active Directory, which is in the Windows environment. Okay. Now, user authentication process. So let's hear that user authentication, because that is what happens when we go to log in into our founders. Okay, so let's get it and understand what happens. Now, when a user enters a username and password, depending on the type of user management model is used, the following steps are performed in a local system or in a remote system. Let's see what happens. Now, if the centralized module is used, the following steps are performed in a centralized system through directory services. Otherwise, same steps are performed in a local system through those text files which contain the user login details. Now, you have the system checks whether the user account exists or not. Number one, when you want to log in into your founder, it checks when you type in your username and your password and you click login, it goes, this is what happens. It goes to the server where that server is, okay, to check if that account exists. Then secondly, what happens? It says if the user account exists, it checks whether the user is allowed to log in from that particular location and whether the username and password is entered or not. That's what happens. Now, when that passes that session, what happens next? So if a user is allowed to log in, it checks the supplied password. Okay. Now, if the supplied password is correct, it checks the threshold value for re-entries. So remember, there is a timeout. Okay. When you go to login, there is a timeout. Might be if you stay too much on that console, it kicks you out. So that's where the threshold value comes in. They can put in the configuration file, they can say the threshold value should be 3 minutes. If you're idle for 3 minutes, it should kick you out. So if somebody is a genuine person that you're using your own password and username, you should not you should not have that problem, right? So it's a security measures. Security. To kick you out after 3 seconds or 30 seconds or something. Okay, now let's go. What happened next? It says if the supplied password is correct, it checks the password's expiration date. I will show you people that. I will show you on the server. It shows you the password expiration. It checks for it. Because in that configuration files, sometimes they tell you that you want the user's account to change their password every time that they log in. We can change that. It can happen. Okay. Now, so if the password expires, it forces user to update his password. That's what they do. Now, if the password is about to expire, it shows a configured warning message, which prompts user to change his password before the expiry date. So in that same configuration file, we can we'll put it in a way that the user will be able to change their password in a particular date. So if that date is fast approaching, when you log into the system, it will tell you that you need to change your password. Okay. Now, if the supplied username and password are correct and all the above conditions are certified, the user is allowed to log in. So that's what happens when you log in to your founder. It goes to that server where that information is being kept. It checks for if you exist, if the username exists, it checks if the password is correct. Then if it is all is clear, it locks you into the server. Auntie Mary PE, can you understand that now? Does it make sense to you? You're muted.
I see only this power one.
You're muted, Auntie Maria. I'm not hearing you.
Can you give her the co-host, please?
Uh-oh. Are you not co-host? She went out again. She was co-host before Dr. Benny. What happened to her? She went out?
Yeah, I was having trouble. I disappeared on the screen and had to figure out with the help of the doctor. Anyway, yes, it makes sense because what you're saying is what I experience. We have to do all this like every quarter. It depends, also depends on what software we are using. Say if you're going to your paycheck, you have to change that your password every 150 days. In other data, you have to, if I'm working on Epic, one of those software, Sona or whatever, one of those, I have to change my password every 90 days. And maybe 13 days, 2 weeks before it expires, just like you said, Mike, there's a reminder that I have to change it every day. It's very annoying sometimes. You open your emails, it tells you have to change it. And you as an employee are saying, oh, I have 2 weeks. If I change it now, I've shot myself by 2 weeks, because when the next 3 months come, in 2.5 months, it'll tell me to change it. So you want to stretch it all the way to the end.
Wow.
And
Awesome.
sometimes if you're off, you will forget. And when you come back next time, you can't. So you
Perfect.
have to log in. And if you do it 2 times, 3 times, it shuts you down. And you have to go to the enterprise help desk for the agency. And then they'll reset your password, walk you through, and get you back on for the next 3 months.
Wow. Awesome. So it means as I'm just giving the lectures, it's just entering, you're just seeing what you used to do.
That's it. That's what I do
Oh, wow.
That's what I have to deal with.
That makes a lot of sense.
For years and years, yes.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Thank you, Auntie, for that input. I didn't even know that's what you were doing. I just say, okay, let me try to see if somebody can communicate to confirm what is happening with this one.
I do that every often. I have a home device.
Okay.
That I can work from home.
Okay.
Whenever I have to. Maybe I have to log into that home device at least once a month, even though I may not be working something from home. And after that, they'll send me an alert that I must log in, because if I don't log in within the next days, it will shut me down.
Wow.
And then pretty often my how do you call that security what I'm trying to remember, the security system that we use, that you have to go through, even though you have your internet at home, you have to go through the VPN. You have to go through that. And then before every 3 months, I have to take my device to work. Like last week on Tuesday, I took my device to work because I wouldn't be able to log in at home, even though I have my passwords and everything. I took my device to work so that it sends that is back to the mother area. And once I log in, it will let me in. Wow. Okay, on that day, at the end of the work, something happened and I had to change my password. So the following day. So I brought that device at home. I was able to change my password at work, and I did my work. But when I came home to use that new password to my device, it would not let me. So I have to take this device, my laptop, which is next to me, my work laptop. I had to transport it back home, back to work the second day. And then I logged in with my new password on the device and it accepted me. And then I brought it home.
Wow. Awesome.
Yes.
So basically all these things are very doable and they are very practical, right? So if you've gone through them, when I read out this to you, it resonates. I mean,
Oh, yes.
you get it once and for all, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much for the input, Auntie Marie.
Yes.
So we want to talk about now the remote authentication. How is it? So when you log in remotely from one server to the next, the same user must exist. Look, those are the conditions. The same user must exist in both servers. Okay? Otherwise, the authentication will fail. Now, if the user exists in both servers, an authentication question will be asked using the secure shell or the SSH. SSH is secure shell. So now, on answering yes to the question, a pair of authentication keys, which are RSA, will be created in the destination server where you're going to. Now, the authentication question is a one-time question which will be asked since the authentication keys will be created. The authentication process is known as SSH. I'll show you how to do that. So let's break this down. I come to Auntie Marie Pendy's house. She has a daughter which is called Alicia. Alicia already knows me. Now, when I go to Auntie Marie Pendy's house, I'll call out, Alicia. Oh, Uncle Mike, welcome. She comes, open me the door. I get in. Now, I go with Dr. Benny another day to visit Auntie Marie Pendy. I said, Dr. Benny, you call out for Alicia. Dr. Benny calls out for Alicia. Alicia, who is that? Okay, I'm Dr. Benny. I don't know you, Dr. Benny. Where are you coming from? So she start asking now her credentials to know who Dr. Benny is. That is the same thing with this SSH we're talking about. So when those keys are being created, it creates a fingerprint. Okay, when you log into the system, it creates a fingerprint. That fingerprint will be your username and your password, then with the IP address you're logging in with. That's the fingerprint. That's what is happening when we talk about this authentication. So if I go now with Dr. Benny, the second day, hey, Alicia, this is Dr. Benny. Oh, Dr. Benny, welcome. Boom, we enter the house. But at the first time, she did not know of Dr. Benny. She will not open her door for Dr. Benny to come in. That is what this authentication is all about. Now, I want to security risks and the SSO. So let's see, single sign-on. Although single sign-on is a convenience to users, it prevents a risk to enterprise security. An attacker who gains control over a user's single sign-on credentials will be granted access to every application the user has right to, increasingly the amount of potential damage. Please remember, every day our CEO comes out, he tells us about protection of our accounts. Protect them. People should not see that, except there are trusted people like your kids or your sisters or your brothers that you can share those information with them. If you are not, maybe you can be sick, they can log in and see and help you out in some things that you need. Don't keep those passwords and usernames handy for no one, please. Now, in order to avoid malicious access, it's essential that every aspect of the single sign-on implementation be coupled with identity governance. Organizations can also use two-factor authentication, which is 2FA, or multi-factor authentication with the SSO to improve security. Now, like I said, I'm a system reliability engineer. I work with one of my jobs, I work with IBM now. If I want to log into my IBM system, my phone must be on. Every server that I want to log into asks me for those security. I need to give it. I need to authenticate it before it lets me go into the system. They need to know that you log into this system at what time and what are you doing and all of that. That's what you need to know. So we need to protect our accounts. Don't keep your single sign-on information to anyone. Okay. Now, so we're talking about a social single sign-on, right? It says Apple recently unveiled its own single sign-on service and is positioning it as a more private alternative to the single sign-on options provided by Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So the new offering, which will be called the single sign in with Apple. That's what they will be calling it, sign in with Apple, okay? It's expected to limit what data third-party services can access. Now, Apple's single sign-on will also enhance security by requiring users to do the two-factor authentication, okay? And all Apple ID accounts to support integration with Face ID and Touch ID on the iOS devices. Wow, it's awesome. So what is the enterprise single sign-on? We are an enterprise, like, right? OnPassive is an enterprise. So enterprise single sign-on, or ESSO software products and services, are password managers with client and server complements that logs their user onto target applications by replying or replaying user credentials. Now, these credentials are almost always a username and password. Target applications do not need to be modified to work with their ESSO system. Remember, our own is an enterprise one because we have username and password. And our username is always our email addresses. Then we give the password, which is alphanumeric special characters, right? Uppercase, lowercase, special characters, right? That's what we use on our sign-on in OnPassive, which means we is an enterprise one. So what are the advantages of single sign-on? It enables users to remember and manage fewer passwords and usernames for each application. It streamlines the process of signing on the using application. No need to re-enter passwords. Wow. Just imagine, OnPassive is getting 50 plus products with one single sign-on. You sign on, you see all your products. That's marvelous, right? Now, it lessens the chance of phishing. Phishing is one of those bad guys sending you some kind of bad emails or things like that when you are at work in your company email address and things like that, try to hack your system. That's phishing. One of the aspects of hacking is called phishing. It leads to fewer complaints or trouble about password for IT help desk. Imagine our success development team, our success team, which are the support before, they can just sit and relax because we are just logging in with just one of it. You have one single login and you sign on and you are getting all your 50 plus products. Okay, that's what is telling us there. Now, disadvantage of SSO. Let's see one disadvantage. So it does not address certain level of security each application sign-on may need. So in all of that, right? But because we have what is called artificial intelligence, which is another layer of security in our environment, we are safe. Except for people who are not using AI, this can be an disadvantage to them, right? If available, it lost the users are locked out of multiple systems connected to the SSO. So remember, it can lock you out if you forget your password. So what does that mean? Please don't forget them. Keep them handy. If unauthorized users gain access, then they could gain access to more than one application. So what do? Still keep those Passwords very safe that people cannot get them, please. We should take care of our own business. This is our business, okay? Now, some of the single sign-on vendors, there are multiple single sign-on vendors that are well known. Some provide other services, and single sign-on is an additional feature. Here are some of them. So Rippling enables users to sign into cloud applications from multiple services. One of them is called Rippling. It enables users to sign into cloud applications from multiple devices. Another one is Avatier. Identity Anywhere is an SOS for Docker container-based platforms. A Docker is a container that we use in the industry, okay? Now, One Login is a cloud-based identity and access management IAM platform that supports SSO, which is single sign-on, One Logon. Then the other one is Okra. It's a tool with an single sign-on functionality. Okta also supports two-factor authentication and is primarily utilized by enterprise users. We don't know which one we're using. One day our CEO will tell us what we are using. Now, we want to talk about laser technology. This is one of the words that he used some days ago, what laser technology is. So laser technology is light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, laser. Is defined as what? Electromagnetic radiation that sends equal amounts of light in terms of frequency and wavelength, which fuses together, into a high energy, highly coherent light pulse. Now, its angle is somewhat obtuse, and radiation stimulation relies upon to be generated. So what we want to know about this laser technology is this highly coherent light pulse, high energy, and it's a radiation. If you people remember, in physics, radiation goes very fast. So if we are getting laser technology in our ecosystem, my people, it means our speed will be excellent, very fast, the speed of a light. That's what we're trying to bring here. That's why I said, okay, our CEO talked about it. Let's know a little bit of what the laser technology is. So we should know about the energy, highly coherent, and it is a radiation that goes so fast. In modern technology, they use it a lot in medicine. There are so many operations or surgeries that are being done today by the laser system. You don't need to go broke somebody, cut you completely like before they used to do. They just get the spot and they use a laser, and they burn it out. That's it, right, Auntie Marie? That's how they use it?
Just say that again. I was just, the laser technology.
Yes, I said they use a lot of laser technology today in the medical field. For instance, doing surgery. They don't need to break you up completely how they used to do before. All they need to do now is to
laparoscopic.
Get the spot and they just do whatever they do to burn it out and it is done.
It is what it is in this day and age, if it is not necessary to open up like we used to do 40, 50 years ago.
Yes.
With laparoscopic technology, they use the laser, they inject, they find the spot, the anatomy of your body, where they are going to go. They just bore a spot through your stomach or through whichever part, and then they use the laser and the laparoscope and go through there with the camera and fix the place or remove whatever they have to remove. Your entire body does not have to be opened.
Wow.
As it used to be. So it is
Thank
a
you,
very,
Auntie. So that
yes.
means that is what we are interested in. The laser technology coming to OnPassive in our ecosystem is the fastness,
Yes.
the speed.
Yes.
That's what we're interested in, the speed.
Right.
Speed of a light.
So this speed is also implemented for treatment.
Okay.
Those who are going to radiation treatment, they have to use the laser treatment, gamma knife, and those robotic equipment in order to strike straight to the point where we have the cancer cells.
Okay.
And strike it and kill it off.
Awesome.
Laser. Yes.
Thank you, Auntie. Wow. So he also brought a word for us. He called it fiber optics. And he started explaining that it was some glass. So let's get a full understanding of the definition of fiber optics, what it is. So a fiber optic cable is a network cable that contains strands of glass fibers inside an insulated casing. There's designated for long distance and long distance high performance data network and telecommunications compared to wired cables. Fiber optics cables provide higher bandwidth and transmit data over longer distances. Fiber optic cables support much of the world's internet, cable televisions, and telephone systems. So this is kind of like a picture of what we say the wire, the box, right? The insulated casing. So the fiber optics will be there. But I will go down and I'll show you the picture of the fiber optics before we come back up here. Let me explain something to you people. So this is it here. You see that? That's fiber optics. These are glasses, like a glass strand, a strand made up of glass. And they are very delicate, but they are very good because it is used to translate higher bandwidth. Then it is faster when they use it in the walking. So what does this mean to us? When I was working in the, when I got off, I finished my school as a petroleum engineer. I started working off the oil field here in Alberta. We call the place Fort McMurray. That's where all the, if you people heard about, there was a burn, some time ago, it burned like last 2 or 3 years ago. So that is where the oil and gas is in here. Like you people have it in Houston, Texas, and Desa, Galveston, and all those places there, right? Corpus Christi and all of that. So we were working in the field. All of the petroleum companies, one of the biggest companies I was working for was Husky Energy. Husky Energy, all of our cables the cabling were done with fiber optics. Fiber optics. So our internet are super fast. So I just want to stress this to bring to you what we are getting in OnPassive, fiber optics in our ecosystem. Our images will be clearer and faster. Everything that we have will be so fast. Internet connections very fast. That's what we'll be having. Very fast connection. Okay. So my sources, I got my Linux notes. I got some Linux notes information from it. Then I did Tech Target. That's why I got some of the information. Now I want to show you people something. Where's Paint? I want to explain something to you people. Paint. Okay, now let's see this. When you go to what is it? 1 second, people. I'm looking for okay here. Now, when we go to the internet and we type onpassive.com, okay, it has some processes. It goes through some processes before you can see the website of onpassive.com. The first process it goes through a server which is called DNS recurso. Then the second one it goes through is the root name server. Then the third one it goes through is the top level domain name server. And the fourth one is the last one, is the authoritative name server. So when you go and type onpassive.com, so this onpassive.com, what is onpassive.com? Onpassive.com is your domain name. Okay. Now let's put it this way. You go to a library. Until my repenting, you did some sciences. Let's say you want to go get a chemistry book in the library. Let's take it. It's called the DNS lookup. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying DNS lookup. DNS lookup. So this is the process of the DNS lookup. When you go and type onpassive.com, it goes through those four servers. It goes to the DNS recursor, it goes to the root name server, comes to the top level domain name server, and the last one is the authoritative name server. Let's take it that you go to a library. You want to do some chemistry. You are in high school, they give you some work. You want to do some work in chemistry. So this DNS recursor should be there. The guy who is the librarian.
Mm-hmm.
You go ask the librarian, oh, I want this, I'm looking for chemistry books. He will tell you, go to rack number 42 and you will 45, and you will see the chemistry books over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go to rack number 45, you want a specific, you want physical chemistry. You want to see the physical chemistry book. That's what you want to work on.
Yeah.
Now, if you see the physical chemistry book, you will take it. Right?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's take it this way. Now, this DNS lookup, this is how it's been breaking down, right? When you type onpassive.com, it goes to the DNS recursor and say, oh, please, do you have onpassive.com? He can say yes or no. He will say yes. Say, okay, continue. When you come now, it can give you the half year, which is onpassive. Then on this TLD, the top level domain for onpassive.com is the .com. .com, sorry, .com. So this TLD means top level domain. The TLD is a .com, okay, of onpassive. So this .com now, if he sees the full information about onpassive.com, then the authoritative name server will say, okay, got it. He will say, got it. And when he got it, he will display content of onpassive.com to us. But if he doesn't see any content of onpassive.com, he will still give us some content. which is an error message. Yeah, it will give us an error message. And this will depend on how, this will depend on if that will be the first time or second time for you to go and type onpassive.com.
Mhm.
In the first time, it will take some time before it will give you all of these answers. But if you go and type onpassive.com again on your browser for the second time, it will give a shorter period of time. It will give you the answer in a very shorter period of time. Why? If you people remember some months ago, we talked about cache, right?
Mhm.
So these are found in your cache. It stores the information in your cache and it reproduces it to you. Does that make any sense to us?
Yes, it does, because it seems it is learning, just like Sonalisa,
Yes,
with time.
yes. So that's what happens when you talk about the DNS lookup. When you go type onpassive.com, that's what happens. It goes through those 4 processes: DNS recursor, root name server, top-level domain server, and authoritative name server, which is the last one. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you people is there. I think before we close for the day, I'll take questions. Oh, Dr. Benny, you are making my stuff not coming up. You see, that's you. Oh no. Okay, I wanted to show you people another thing. Okay. Awesome. These are servers. So you people log in into these servers in the outside. Remember, we call it the graphical user interface. Okay. Do you people remember? Who remember? So you people log in into the GUI outside. But now it is us, the technicians. This is where we work, the engineers and everybody. We call it the command line interface, CLI. Okay. Now we type commands here. You cannot log in here if you don't have an authority to log in here. So if you look at it, if I want to see who am I here, it will tell me that I am working as root. The root user is a super user in an environment, okay? So when you create users, like we're saying, the user management, authentication, and all of that, the reason we're coming here is because we saw that authentication thing, right? So if I do like this, I want to see my home directory to see what users that I have. You see, I have so many users in this environment. So if we are being created in the OnPassive ecosystem, this is how our user information will be seen. And every user information that you see is a directory. It has permissions. Now, all of these users, if you want to see their password expiration, okay, I'll say she-ish -L for A Mike, which is one of A Mike is my user, is my name. Awo Michael. So if you look at this information, this is the information that I was reading out to you people earlier on to tell you that it tells you, it gives you a way to change your password and all of that. Let's see. Last part was, the first one say last password change. It says March 26, 2022. Okay. The second one, password inactive. It says May 25th, 2022. Now, it says account expires. It says never. Then, oh no, it says never. Okay. Then it says account expires. It tells you that my account is expiring on the September the 18th, 2022. Or 2024, sorry. Then it tells me minimum number of days between password change. It is 3. Then maximum number of days between password change is 60. Then number of days for warning before password expires, 3 days. So these are the parameters. We can change them. Okay. I just wanted to throw in that there. This is my innovation lab, okay? It's not my work stuff. So if people don't say, oh, he's showing his works environment. No, no, no. This is my own small innovation lab. I do all my stuff here, and I teach as well. I teach Linux. I'm an instructor, so I use this for teaching, okay? Okay, Dr. B, over to you. I'm done.
Wow. Wow. Excellent, excellent, superb presentation. Thank you so much, Engineer Michael. You guys notice I stated before that this man knows his stuff, right? Being a student or being a teacher, you go out there, the teacher provide you with a question, you go out there and do your research. That is how it is. All of us learn every day. Thank you. Excellent presentation, Engineer Michael, regarding the single sign-on. I want to find out, does anyone have any question? Could you please raise your hands electronically?
Dr. Benny, Dr. B.
Yes, yes, please.
Sorry, there is one thing that I forgot. Let me go back to my screen. 1 second.
Certainly. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. B. So there is one thing that our CEO said about the environment. I plan to show that, but I forgot. So are you people seeing my screen now, Dr. Benny? Can you see no? Judy
No.
say no.
No.
Okay. Let me go back. Don't save. How about now?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I wanted to show you people about the environment. Okay. So our CEO told us something the other day that our environment, our servers, our databases will be transported or transferred or migrated from where they are to our data center. Now, he also made mention that we have environments, we are going from a lower environment to the higher environment. We are leaving the dev to another environment. Now, I just wanted you to see this. So we have the generic environment. So the generic environment will be, it will be made up of the dev environment. Dev just means development, and the test or QA or UAT. Then we have the prod environment, the prod environment. So those are the environments that we have. Those are the generic environment. But for people who have sense, who really want to get into business, they have something called the customized one, okay? So we're going to the customized one. So this customized one will be all of these, okay? Then plus one, which is called pre-prod before we go to the prod. It's either called pre-prod, the pre-prod, or disaster recovery, DA, or DR, sorry. So this, what is all this about? The developers work in the development environment to build the codes, they all of it, they fix it, you know. Then they go to the testing. The testings now, the testing team will test it to see if there are bugs. Okay, bugs means just tweaking. They need to tweak. Our CEO will say tweak it. They are tweaking it. So they will tweak it now. They send it to the production environment, which will be live. In the production environment, it will be live. So most companies, they just use this generic environment. They have dev, they have the test or QA or UAT or prod. Then they go to the prod now, which they just send it to production. But guess what? He told us that we are getting we will not be getting any downtime. Downtime is what you don't want in your business. Okay, you don't want no downtime. That's downtime can cause customers go away and they'll never come back to you. So you don't ever want to get any downtime in your business. That's why we have the pre-production and the disaster recovery environment. Some months ago, I was doing a presentation in Friday Night Live, and I predicted this. I said we should surely be having a disaster recovery or pre-production environment, which have the same infrastructure as the production environment, so that when there is anything wrong with the production environment, they can switch direct to the pre-prod or disaster recovery, and nobody will envisage or will see or will notice that there was that switch. And he said it on Friday. I predicted this some months ago when I did a presentation on the data center, and he told us that it is the same thing. That's what we're having. We have that environment. It's either the pre-production or disaster recovery that has the same infrastructure as the production, so that when the production has any problem, they switch straight up to the pre-prod or the disaster recovery. It takes over and we are good to go. Thank you, Dr. Benny. I just wanted to throw in this one there.
Oh, thank you so much, Engineer Michael, regarding the testing part. As we all know, it is very important for each and everyone to understand that when it comes to the products or anything that you want to do, sometimes you guys, if you want to design anything like a house, right? You have to start from somewhere. You will sit with someone and you guys will plan, and then someone will be there to draw that diagram like the designer. So it is the same thing like our products as well. You have the discovery, you have the design, you have the coding, and at this moment, we are doing the testing. You guys know that a lot of people had problems when it comes to their emails, when we moved from Go Founder to All Founders, right? Yes, people were complaining a lot, but right now, nobody's complaining again because our engineer at Hyderabad, they have done their work. So at this moment, we really need to thank them for what they have done. Yes, this is the testing part of all our products. As you guys know, when you go to your back office, each and everyone is testing our products. That is how we have to do it. And we just have to relax because the dollars will be coming soon. Thank you so much, Engineer Michael. Does anyone have any question? Please raise your hands electronically and Engineer Michael will be able to answer your question. Super presentation, Engineer Mike. Thank you. Well, if I don't see any hands raised, it means that I believe that everyone understands your single sign-on and lesser technology. And also when it comes to the testing of our products. Any question, please? Thank you. Mr. Sodo from Portugal, could you please raise your hands and ask your question? I saw it, but I want you to ask the question, please. Thank you. All right. Unmute yourself, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
It's about the OTP. why the OTP is not sending for our cell phone. I think a few months ago, I hear Mr. Hash tell the OTP will be sent by our cell phone. It's more secure. Why anyone can, Engineer Michael, can tell about something about this, please?
Certainly.
Okay, sir. This is not a founder's only thing, but I can answer that for you. What you need to know is that there's a lot of work going on in our ecosystem. Okay, so some of those things, sometimes you will try to get them, you don't get them, but don't worry, everything is okay. Okay, don't worry too much. Just keep trusting the process and let's keep engaged how we are engaged already. I will be knowing what is going on. Okay, don't panic. There's nothing wrong. You'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Sir, are you satisfied with your answer?
Yes, I am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
Keep
for your
the good
question.
work.
Yes, sir.
Okay, keep the good work.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Engineer Michael, for your answer. We appreciate you. Sister Marie Pendy, come along, please.
I may have put my hand by accident, but while I'm on right now, I can just add on to the importance of how what Mike just said about, having a backup. It's just like having a backup. Mike mentioned something about if you have a business, you don't want to have any downtime, because if you do, you risk losing customers. It is a continuing rotation, 24/7, and even more intense as it goes forward, because many people depend on your business. It goes with everything in our day-to-day life. If you are running a business that you depend on electricity, you should have a generator, which is a backup. And because once you lose light, you may not have some people coming. So you have to have that running. You have to continuously have that running to get that going. It doesn't have to be only business. If you are on a ventilator, a machine that breathes for you in order to sustain life, the hospital or the institution has to have a backup, so that if we have a light, that a ventilator depends on the electricity to run it so that you can breathe. They have to have a backup of electricity, because once the general electricity goes off, life doesn't stop. You still have to continue to breathe, and your breath depends on that generator, that depends on the electricity. I just wanted to add how important it is that Ash Mufare have envisioned this, knowing that this is going to be a continuum, nonstop. And as we move forward, it's going to be even more intense. So you have to have a backup or a second backup or third backup to just ensure that this will run smoothly and even better each time. That's all.
Thank you so much, Sister Marie. To tell the truth, you know everything as well. We appreciate you. We appreciate your knowledge, especially when it comes to the health field, in the health field. We appreciate your knowledge as well, going to your back office and knowing the products as well. Thank you so much. Sister Debbie, my queen, come along, please. Unmute yourself, please. Sister Debbie, okay, great. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Wow,
Wow, I am so dumbfounded. I don't have a question. I just wanted to thank you all, first of all, our brother Mike. But before I get to him, Sister Marie, what you just said is down to core. It's so uplifting to hear what is happening, and you just echoed it all. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sister Benny, Queen Benny. And thank you, our dear brother Mike, for that presentation. I do not have a background in information technology, but listening to you and the analogy you made about Aisha not letting Dr. Benny in, or someone who is not Dr. Benny, even a 5-year-old child will understand what that means, even if you do not know computers. It was just mind-blowing, that presentation, and I hope that it could be repeated again for novice like me, so I can learn more from it. So basically, I just wanted to say thank you for sharing that knowledge, which we are able to get through OnPassive, because without OnPassive, I don't think I would have been able to learn what I just learned from your presentation today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Back to your Queen Sister, Dr. Benny.
Wow, wow. You know, Sister Debbie, we really appreciate you acknowledging the fact that Sister Marie, with her own knowledge in the health field, she was able to say something to you and I, to all of us, to really understand what is going on. And Engineer Michael, we appreciate you a lot. As I stated before from the beginning, I spoke to some of our leaders. They make me to understand that you are an asset to this company. Thank you so much. I just want the whole world to know that. Thank you. Does anyone have any more questions, please? I know brother, what is his name again? Brother Sodo, right? Now, when you talked about that OTP, OTP came when we moved from Go Founder to O Founder. As you know, that O Founder is more secured. That is why they provide us with that OTP. And before you go to, you log into your O Founder, make sure that your email address is open, because O Founder now will send you that OTP, right? And I believe that a lot of people do understand what is going on. We do have more security. OnPassive is not a joke. We want to take this moment to really, really thank our CEO because of the vision that he saw. And I know that I'm so proud of you guys as well, because you guys saw the vision. And you guys know that by the 22nd of this month, it will be over. The founding position will be over. So if you can still go out there and spread the good news about OnPassive, those who want to come, let them come. If they don't want to come, it's okay. Thank you. Does anyone have any more questions, please? By the way, I want to take this special moment to welcome each and everyone. I know when Engineer Michael was presenting, a lot of people came, but I couldn't welcome them. I want to welcome my brothers and sisters. We appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you. Any more questions, please? Queen Nadu. Sorry. Do you have any question? Unmute yourself, please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, my sister, Dr. Benny. You always bring the best of you. You appreciate yourself, and that gives you the opportunity to see something good on everyone around you. That's a blessing. And that's your name. Blessing. I'm double blessed today. You know, some religion, Catholic, they are celebrating Pentecost, that the Holy Spirit came down and was the Savior. Because we all know we are physically present, but spiritually present too. If you ignore the other side, you cannot survive. So any time of the day, we have to think about we being in this world physically and the spirit that is taking us to do things. And we have to choose when everything is coming to our mind to take the best one, because we have this opportunity to take the bad one too. And I'm celebrating my 60 years old today, and the Holy Spirit is on me, and I'm going to spray it to everyone. Thank you very much, Sister Benny.
Oh, this is amazing.
Thank
You know, happy birthday
Thank you very much.
to you. You know, our God loves you so much. That is why you're here. That is why you are alive. And that is why all of us are alive today. Because he wanted all of us to
You know
wake up.
my story.
Yes.
You know my story.
Yes.
So I'm so blessed to be alive. Like my first incident was in May 2016, when I was driving and suddenly cannot see from my left eye. When I park, I cannot come out. I had to lift my left leg with two hands. I'm like, no, I'm not going home. Head to the hospital. And they say, miss, don't walk, stop. Wheelchair. And a few minutes later, my left side was numb. I cannot talk, I cannot move. And I said, stroke. I was trying to get better. In 2021, April, I get another stroke, this time on the right side. Yeah. After 7 days, my heart stopped, heart failure. And they had to run and do the heart surgery before I can come back to life. So I always tell people, if you are healthy and you can run, why don't you do something? If I'm disabled and I have a second, third, fourth chance to be alive, and I'm doing something, I'm a founder, I'm trying to motivate others. So with your health, with your 2 feet, that you can run a marathon, do something, help others, and the blessing will come to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Queen Nadu. Thank you. And that is why you are with Unpassive, because you saw the vision and you want each and everyone to also spread the good news, because we don't want to be the only one to enjoy, right?
No.
That's right. Thank you.
You cannot
so much.
be happy alone. You will turn into a clown.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes,
Thank
please.
you very much.
Thank you. Sister Bridget Kamsi. Thank you so much. And I need you to say something. Unmute yourself.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. I would say something about what Nadu just said. I would like to wish you a very happy birthday. You're very blessed to have a birthday on Pentecost Day. That's a very special blessing for you. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, we just want to love one another, right? That is what our CEO wants. He wants all of us to love one another, to work as a team. I am going to Dr. Okay, hold on. So I had to stop the video of this doctor. You guys know why, right? Thank you. Sister Judy, come along, please.
Hi to everybody. It's just a blessing to be able to be a founder. Everybody has the same chance, but everybody has different ideas too. But it's so worth it to get in and see everybody smiles and this big family. It's awesome. I mean, what better day could you have than to see this? So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Engineer Mike. Thank you, Dr. Benny, and everybody else that's on here. Thank you.
Thank you, my Queen Judy. We really appreciate you. We love you so much. Thank you. Queen Marie Pendy, come along, pray, please.
Yes, thank you for giving me the chance to speak after Nadu. Nadu, I want to congratulate you on your 60th birthday. You have 9 lives. You have lived 2. I think you have about 7 more under your belt. There is a reason why you're still here after having all these traumatic events. Man proposes and God disposes. There's a reason why you're here after having those 2 that people don't survive that. And you're still here and standing. So God wants you to participate in this unpassive phenomenon. And that's why you're still here. I think you have some vision that he sees, that he wants to use you so you can be used to spread love, to contribute, to uplift humanity. So there is a reason why. So congratulations on your 60th birthday, and continue to believe and have faith, because you have a long way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, my sister Marie. We really appreciate you. I know you love Queen Nadu too much. Sister Naka. Yes. Unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mama Africa. We lovely sister from another mother. Thank you so much. Your passion, I can see in your face anytime I see you. I think I just see the other side of Paisive, the joy. Thank you for doing that. It's contagious. Wow. Our brother, only brother, my neighbor here, Michael. Thank you for this brilliant, as usual, brilliant presentation. You make us understand what's going on in IT field. Thank you. Judy, everyone, Marie, thank you, and Bridget, everybody here, thank you for coming, and thank you for being here in this special day, Pentecost. Happy Pentecost to everyone. And my only sister, Nadu, wow, it's really touching what I heard now. And thank God you are in the family. The best family you can have in the world is Unpassive family. And believe me, this woman, I'm so impressed. Everything I heard from her heart in this condition, and she still have that energy to help other people. Oh boy, I don't know what to say. Thank you, thank you. May God give you everything you need to still do what you love. You can't do that if you don't have that love in you. And may God give you all the strength and blessing and health to do that. Thank you so much and happy birthday. I think after this, I will be calling you to sing because to sing happy birthday to you. Have a good one. Well, I think I have a question. Dr. Benny, can I ask my question to our brother?
Please go ahead.
Okay, okay. Well, we've been hearing a lot of good news from our CEO. And he said recently that he created a new department for fully artificial intelligence driven products engineering, not included hybrid. What does it mean? Can you explain to us? We are so really like ignorant in that one. Can you help us, please? Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thanks for the question, Naka. Auntie Nadu, happy birthday, you know. Like they have said it all, you are special to be, your birthday to be on a Pentecost Sunday. You are so thrilled. I mean, like, you are one of the luckiest people on earth. And what you've gone through, I know your story. You've told me all about it. We just say thank you, God, for bringing you up to this level. And we are in Unpassive, and we are almost there. Before we used to say, we are in it to win it. We are already there. So it's we are not we're already there, and things are happening. I mean, like they are going so fast now. So when our CEO comes out, excuse me, excuse me, he brings us all of these terminologies, he brings us everything, and he gets us excited. Now, when he says all of these things, then we go back, boom, we sit as IT professionals to digest what he gave to us. It's a big, big bomb. Okay, it's a big bomb. When he is telling us that he wants to he has created an IT department, which is just completely for artificial intelligence, no induced, no hybrid. Wow, that is something else. If you look at the word induced or hybrid, it means it's a mixture of artificial intelligence and something else, right? But when we are saying that this one is a purely artificial intelligence, that's telling us about more security. That's telling us about the fastness. That's telling us about the technology we are using, which is 21st century cutting edge technology. And it is also telling us that we are not doing reverse engineering. What's reverse engineering? All of these other platforms that have been for a while, 10 years, 15, 20 years. So if they want to incorporate something into their products now, they do what is called reverse engineering. They try to force it into their ecosystem. But our own systems are created from scratch, organic, from scratch. We don't have no template that we are imitating to build our products. So these products are built from scratch using 21st century cutting-edge technology. And now we are getting pure artificial intelligence in one whole department to take care of that. That's a big deal in the IT industry. So we are not hybriding. We are not mixing artificial intelligence, just artificial intelligence in all the products. So it brings more security. We are building it from scratch. There's no template to use. We are not doing reverse engineering. So everything is built from scratch. So the products that will be made from now henceforth in OnPassive, if they are being made in that particular department, that is artificial intelligence driven, then we are fine, more than fine. So this is what we are bringing into the market. All the other people, they have all of these products out there, but we are bringing something that is not in the market, artificial intelligence, in all our products. So it is making us to stand tall. It's making us to have this position in the market without ever launching. We have all of these going as a unicorn, going with how many? 1.3 million people. We're a giant and nobody can stop us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Queen Naka, are you
Thank you.
satisfied?
I am so satisfied. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the question. I believe Sister Queen Judy has a question as well. Go ahead.
Yes, this is for Engineer Mike. When we hear laser technology, blockchain, and innovative labs, what does that mean to our business, please? You're muted.
Wow, that's a good one, Judy. Yeah, you know, like we say in the IT world, there's a lot of innovation. So if we are having innovation means new events, right? You invent new things to bring. That's what innovation is. So for us, having our own innovation lab, everybody, that is big news. What does that mean? It means all our inventors, right? Our inventors, our engineers, and all of that, they have their own session where they work. So in those innovation labs, that is where they'll be inventing and be testing. Remember, before they do everything, they need to test it, right? So they invent, they build, they need to test. Okay? So when they test now, then they have to send it to live. Live is in the production environment so that people can start using them. So by us having our own innovation lab, we are not renting it from somebody. We have our technology, and we also will be having our own school, university. And remember again, Mr. Ash says one of the schools, one department will be in Hyderabad, where they will be keeping us all our information about all the products. They'll be writing them down, document them, and keep them so that if we are not here today and our kids come on tomorrow, they will use those templates to follow it up and go. So it is something very big for us. Innovation labs. We're having the AI technology. We're having all of this. We're having laser technology in our ecosystem. We're having blockchain in our ecosystem, which is the correction to the corruption. So people cannot even come to our platform to imitate. There's a word that they call imitation, right? You cannot fix it. You cannot mess up with any of those ledgers that are being stored there, because it have that information. Whenever in the blockchain system, when you make a mistake, an error, you have to correct it by creating a correct transaction, and it will correct the other the one that is has a problem. I've seen Dr. Benny. I don't know. Did that answer you very well, Judy?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see Dr. Benny very excited. I don't
Oh,
know.
you know who? You know why I'm excited?
I don't know. Tell me.
The real person that we have been waiting for
Oh,
is here.
okay. Who is
Yeah,
that?
man. I mean, sorry.
Who is that?
I am excited.
Jeffrey is
Our-
here.
Our one and
Okay.
only Jeffrey.
Okay. Our
is
best
here.
best
Yes.
leaders.
Yes.
So you
And
guys
I-
can continue with the question to him.
Yes, he is
just
the
like
one
30 minutes.
that you
Yeah.
guys were supposed to ask him all the questions.
Okay, he's here now.
Okay. Before we
Arrest my case,
proceed.
Dr. Benny.
Oh, hold on, my dear. Hey, thank you so much, Brother Jeffrey, for coming. We have been waiting for you. Yes, sir. We appreciate you. Yes, we appreciate you. Before we go to him, Mr. Ram, do you have any question? Unmute yourself, sir. You guys know I'm excited, right? Oh, yeah. Mr. Ram, please.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Ram Harikhatka.
Yes, please.
Yeah, right now I'm in US in Maryland. Did you hear me?
No, sir. What did you say, sir?
Oh, my name is Ram Harikhatka.
Yes, please. You're muted. Your question, please.
Okay, so actually I'm very interested for the QA. So I have 6-week training for the QA course, but nobody helped me the job. So right now I want to be continue for the job, my career. So I would like to, ask about my the QA. That's why I'm calling.
Oh, okay. No problem. I'm
Let me
gonna give
answer
you.
him, Dr. Benny.
Yeah, go ahead and answer, please.
Mr. Ram, thank you for your question. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Yes.
But we have a policy in unpassive. It's either you are a worker with unpassive or a founder. Okay. So
Okay.
if you decide to be a founder, are you a founder?
About what?
Is this your first time of coming to this webinar?
Yeah, first time. This is the first time, and
Okay, you are not an unpassivian, right?
yeah, nothing. Sorry.
Okay, who invited you, please?
Oh, the Amul. I for the Amul. I will tell the name. Just a second. I'm Killi Salom.
Okay, so I want to ask you, did he tell you what unpassive is all about, or what were you coming to see? What were you expecting to see here?
Yeah, I know her, Miss Salom, amicably. So she said you join the webinar and you tell to your things is what you needed, and they will decide you what you do in future. So just join the webinar, she said.
Okay, perfect. Let me answer you. Unpassive is a business. We don't look for jobs or people, okay? So
Okay.
if you want to be an employee of Unpassive, you will go to Unpassive website, which is unpassive.com. You type for career, look for career, and you look any job that matches you, and you apply for it, okay? But if you are coming to this webinar, they didn't call you, invite you to come and be a founder. They invited you to come and be a founder. They didn't invite you to come and be a worker, okay? So if you are
I don't know
coming
about it. So
a
just
worker,
I'm new, that's why.
okay, if you are new, you are going to an Unpassive website if you want to apply for a job. But if you want to come to be a member, a founder, member of Unpassive, you are welcome to do so with $97. If you pay with your credit card or your debit card, it deducts $5 for bank transaction. It makes it 102 American dollars, and you will secure a founding position in Unpassive. If that is a route that you want to take, fine. Go back to the person who invited you and he will walk you through the process, okay? But if you say you want to look for a job with OnPassive, like I say, go to onpassive.com, check for careers, and you apply for any jobs. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. Thank you for your information.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ram. We know that you will come back again to join us as a founder. At this moment, I know that our guest is here. We want to take this moment to thank Brother Jeffrey for coming in. And we want to thank Sister Comfort as well for coming. Welcome. Yes, she is here. That's right. Thank you so much. Brother Jeffrey, I do have a question for you. Are you ready for me, sir? Thank you. Happy Sunday. So, what does the ending of founder position means to us as OnPassivians?
Boom! Man, means life has just gotten a whole lot better and we need to get ready to be in the best shape of our lives. That's what that means. Holy camole. I have got to say, good day to you, Comfort. It's good to see you here, girl. I am so glad to see all of you here. You guys are, I got to apologize for being late. You know, I had a lot of things. Then I was running late and the other one ran late. But I'm glad. Michael, thank you so much. Dr. Bendy, thank you so much. Obviously, Comfort, thank you so much. 22nd of June. This is a date that we have been waiting for a long, long time. We have been saying the founder position is going to end. The door to it's going to be closing, and we are going to be the founders in perpetuity, forever, for generations. We will be the only founders. Wow. What does that mean for us? The closing of the founder's position actually means that OnPassive can now focus on moving forward, opening publicly, getting the products out there, getting the marketing going, getting the branding going, and looking at us as the future leaders for OnPassive. That's what that means. And we have got some exciting things lined up. Things are going to be happening. We have marketing that's going to be going in India. There's going to be more marketing in the U.S. We're going to resume the marketing and the branding in Dubai at the Burj Khalifa. And we have got some exciting things happening. And one of them's going to be the June 15th. I thought maybe, I'm not sure. I think it's still halfway through June. He's going to have an extravaganza or a big celebratory kind of a marketing piece. He's keeping it kind of quiet. But to answer your question, we have 2.5 weeks before the 22nd of June. That day is going to mark the closing of the door for the OnPassive opportunity. It will never come back to you again. It's not going to come back around. You will never be able to purchase the founder position at any price. Don't wait for it. But after that date, he's going to be able to share more information with us as founders privately, what they're doing in the background, what sorts of things are already happening in the background, and what our future is going to look like, and how we're going to push forward into what we typically think of as a launch when we open publicly and start to get some of these market campaigns going for some of the products, not only the digital products, but the physical products that he's rolling out. So that's what it means. It means we're free to move forward and to get rolling. And that's going to mean bonuses pretty quick for a lot of the founders too, I think. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer. We really appreciate this. We do understand that it's about time. A lot of people have been waiting for this for the longest time. And a friend of mine from Cameroon sent me a note, and he stated that he is excited. He is really excited because this time people will not be laughing at him anymore. I am so, oh yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your answer. Sister Marie, proceed, please. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, and I'm very excited to see familiar faces. Thank you so much, Jeff. We've been waiting for you. We thought you forgot the way to come here. You know, I was ringing and trying to figure out who has, if we have to drive you or you want to get on the limousine to come here, I will be the driver. So I'm glad you figured your way out and found it here. We're very excited. Now, I have a few we have a few questions for you, but I have this question. It says, all through our journey through this unpassive, which was developed with love and value attached to it. What do you understand? How do you want us to understand this statement, which is spoken to us and to the entire world by our capable CEO? Unpassive is the corruption. This world is corrupted, and unpassive is the correction to the corruption. Please elaborate on this. We are all listening to you. Pour it out and let us have it. We want to feed what you have to let us do today, what you have to let us have. We are ready to feed and be full. Thank you.
Unmute. Engineer Michael.
There we go. Okay, there we go. Wow. I love that. I love the way you opened it up. I love what you're saying here. Man alive, are you kidding me? How much time do I have? That's the question. How much time? Let me start at First of all, Marie, thank you for this question. And let me tell you, I didn't forget how to get back here. There was another webinar that hit me like 5 minutes before Michael did. And I went, oh, and so I had to choose. And I said, well, he was here first. And then I was late getting to that one, and it ran a little late. So then I was late getting to this one, but I don't have another one after this one. So but you know what? Thank you so very much. And by the way, I love your hair. That's gorgeous. You look beautiful there. You put some work into that. Humanity, lifting up humanity, the correction to the corruption. Oh my goodness, girl, you have just put music in my song and I'm singing it. Let me tell you where this whole thing started, all right? Back in the day, and this was a minute ago, when Mr. Mufara was learning his marketing, when he was in the school of hard knocks and he was doing this marketing, he realized 97% of the people out there that were trying to earn an online living couldn't do it because of the craziness, because of some of the corruption, some of the greed, some of the behavior that is not acceptable in any form, fashion, or by any deliberate means was being perpetrated upon every one of us. And I'm telling you, I have lost money. I've been stolen from. I've been cheated, all sorts of stuff. Bought products that didn't work like they said they were. And he knew this. And he said, you know what? I'm going to come up with a company that is going to be the answer to this. And we are going to do it in such a way that people are going to be successful. He even said, we're going to force them to be successful. And I say, we're going to gently help them be successful. Now, in doing that, he's basically saying, we're going to have products and we're going to have technology and we're going to have something that we can offer people that will allow them to be successful because we're going to do the work for them. All they have to do is get in and get behind us with the right attitude, with the right mindset, and we're going to give them the ability to be everything. Now, the way he says that we're going to do this is by providing everything we need so that we can be successful, and not only successful, but we'll use his metaphor. Remember, he said this is going to be a self-driving car that will refuel itself, right? So what he's saying is we're going to open up this abundance. We're going to decentralize the wealth of the world, bring it in and pass it out to the founders so that the founders have more than they need, right? So that they're not worried about having a roof over their heads. They're not worried about the cars or the gas in their cars. They're not worried about the kids having shoes on their feet. They're going to have more than they need, and they're not going to have to stress life. On top of that, they're going to have enough to put some away for a rainy day. So in case something happens close to them, they can pull that out and it's not going to stress them out. And on top of that, they're going to have so much that they're going to be able to give to their neighbors. They're going to be able to give to their communities. They're going to be able to give to their states, if not even their countries. They're going to be able to open up their hearts so that at a very grassroots level, in other words, by people that they know and they interact with, and people that know those people they interact with, they're going to be able to lift them up. And we're all of us as founders are going to have enough so that we can raise those people around us up to the level that we are at. That's what we mean when we say we're lifting humanity. That's what we mean when we say that On Passive has the heart to be and will be the correction to the corruption, because he has taken an underlying fundamental stance, if you will, in writing the vision statement that says that On Passive is going to have an effect in the world like a global stimulus plan. In other words, we're going to provide enough so that those around us can be shared with and we can all be raised up. And when we're raised up in that sense, so that we have enough where there's food on the table, there's shoes on our feet, there's a roof over our head, we've got clothes, we can take care of our kids and our families, then we're not stressed out over life. We're not looking at trying to fix something that is broken anymore. And when we do that, now we're not spending a lot of time in a lot of senses, worrying about what is going on in our lives now, because we have enough and because we've been lifted into abundance. And because of that abundance, because of the kindness and the grace that's been given to us, we can now extend that grace beyond us. And now that time and that money that we're saving, because On Passive is bringing to us an ability to earn, and that ability to earn is saving us a lot of time, because now we're not going to have to work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. So now we've got time to help those around us and get them in the same position, right? So that we're not all looking for the next dollar or the next meal like a lot of people are. Our whole thing with On Passive is for Mr. Mufara to create a very dynamic platform, which he has done with 50 departments, 50 some digital products, if not more. He's now got the data centers going in so that the data centers can help us do what we need to do through generosity, so that we can lift the world and nobody's dictating to us what we got to do. We're doing it on ourselves. They're doing the innovation labs, both physical and digital. That's going to help push that technological advancements. They're going to be creating better technologies for the future, which is just going to serve to lift us up more. It's going to give us more of what we want. He's providing everything we need to create an online business or presence, and he's doing it in such a way that we can earn from that with abundance to lift those around. And that's the key. The key to it is heart. And he has often said, we have AI with heart, high touch, high technology, and that is what's driving the vision of On Passive. So when we say you're a true founder, we're saying that you have taken your thoughts and you've pushed them out to those around us, and we've gotten them off ourselves so that we are not selfish or self-centered. We are now focused on helping others. And when we do that, it's going to come back to us, because we've all heard of the law of attraction. We've all heard of the law of sowing and reaping. We know that at whatever it is that we put out, we're going to get back. I mean, if you look at the Christian sense of it, when they talk about 10% tithing, giving a tithe of all that you are, it's not just that. It is every thought that you have, every emotion that you put out, whatever is in that, it's going to come back to you. And On Passive understands that. That's why we don't like to talk about or try to put too much focus on anything negative, because if you put negative stuff out, guess what comes back? It just makes life a little harder. And we want to get rid of the effort. We want to get rid of the effort. So On Passive has said, look, this is a business that is done for you, and we're giving it to the world. We're not anybody that will. All you have to do is accept it and come in as a founder, and we will present to you all that we have, right? Everything, if you will just follow us and get on board and get active, everything we have is going to be pulled up in your way, and it's going to serve to put you in a position of abundance. It's going to make you an authority globally. As you said, the world is going to know who you are. And the more we move forward, I mean, once we launch, and we move to where we've got populations within On Passive of members of 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 500 million, 1 billion. With every increase that we have, that's going to make you and your position and your value skyrocket. That's what we're talking about. When we want to lift humanity, we are taking all that we have been given and the grace that we have received it with, and we're extending that to those around us to lift. And we are going to be probably 1.5 million founders by the time we open to the public. That is a global net. You know, I use the metaphor of a basketball with a basketball net. If you put a basketball in a net and think of the basketball as the world, and that net, it's a net around the world of founders that have a big heart with a giving heart, a benevolent heart, and a mindset that says, you guys out there are important. It's not worry about me. I'm taken care of. Let me take care of you. And all of us doing that globally is going to really have an impact economically on the world. And not only economically, it's going to have an impact that's going to lift consciousness. It's going to lift our awareness. It's going to lift our mindset to a loving mindset to those around us. So, you know, I'm going to shut up right there, Maria, because you got me on my soapbox. That's heart. That's Ash Mufarah's heart right there, lifting humanity and seeing goodness and mercy exuded from us to the world to lift them up. And that's where we're going with all this. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know Sister Judy has a question, but I don't know if she's still available. If not, I will ask the question for now. The question says, when we hear laser technology, blockchain, and innovative labs, what does that mean to our business? Brother Jeffrey. Engineer Michael, could you please give co-host?
There we go. There we go. Okay. Those are very good and very relevant questions. Thank you, Dr. Benny, for bringing those up. Laser technology, you're talking photonics, right? We're talking fiber optics. This is the newest, latest, greatest stuff coming out where you're actually transferring information through light. Light is a frequency. All frequency carries information, and information can be transported. So depending on the frequency, it depends on how much information you can put on it or what kind of information. Light is frequency, as all things are, and it's of the such that we can put information and transmit it. Now, the way they do that is through cabling. It's a glass. It's a specific type of glass. It's made. It's a pure kind of a glass that is then encased in a cable form to keep the light inside the cable. And as they shoot that light through there, it has the information in it at light speed. So it'll go from point to point. It's very, very fast, very, very efficient, creates very, very little heat at all. So it's a lot more economic to run and a lot faster, and it's just good all the way around. We're going to be using that technology in our data centers. We're going to be using a lot of that technology for connecting the ports and connecting the servers and connecting the actual physical components that will do the data transmission. We're going to be using that to maintain our dual internet connections which Mr. Mufari has created for redundancy. So if we lose an internet connection, could you, man, I mean, data centers without an internet connection, whoo, that's not good, right? So we got to maintain at least two. So if for whatever reason one goes down, we've got the other one. Laser technology will help us to do that. It's going to help us with the speed. It's going to help us with keeping the place cool. It's going to help us with saving money. It's going to help us with earning money. I mean, it's going to help us all the way around. So when you talk about lasers, that's something to get really excited about and something that's going to really, really help us in the long run, because we are already on top of everything, which means that that's just going to help with our evolution as well. Now, when you talk about actual data centers and stuff and innovation labs, we're talking about the continued development and evolution of OnPassive. Now, we should all know that we've got innovation labs for digital and physical products right now, as well as our own data center, which, you know, going live tomorrow should be, right? And we're steeped. OnPassive is, man, we are waist deep in 21st century technology, and our labs, those innovation labs, both for the digital and the physical, are going to be the spaces that house the creators of future technology. This is going to be the technicians. It's going to be the developers, the engineers, the inventors. You know, you got reliability techs in there that do all this, and they're the ones coming up with tomorrow's technology. So OnPassive is already on the cutting edge of all that technology and serving to create a lot of it. And some of these technologies we've seen, we all heard about big data analytics, right? That's the process of sifting through huge data chunks, right? To uncover information like hidden patterns, market trends, correlations, customer preferences. Man, we're knee deep in that. We're doing a lot of that with the machine learning and the AI that we've got. We've got sensoring networks, you know, geo tracker, right? We got the geo tracker and conferencing and all that stuff in these sensor applications that we've got. And I'm talking, you know, a lot of this stuff is radio frequency ID, RFID. And these are what we use in location-based services to track people and things. We're knee deep into that. OnPassive is already doing it, right? Of course, you've got the whole Internet of Things where we're connecting all of these physical products with these signals, and everything is hit together in a digital radio frequency type of connection, and they're all talking to each other for communications, right? They have processing ability, they have software, and they communicate over networks that way. We're doing that. Artificial intelligence. I mean, this is cutting edge stuff. We've got our own. That was one of the reasons why our products, when we went from the product suite to a smart business solution, it's because we brought in technicians and engineers that could write our own AI, and then they incorporated that and integrated it into everything that we've done. And AI is simply intelligence that is demonstrated by machines as opposed to humans or people. OnPassive is doing this. We have mobile digital platform. That's the big thing, right? Lightweight apps that they launch real quick. They're very secure, and they allow us to connect to any mobile device that's out there. The big one you're talking about here with data centers is cloud computing. Cloud computing is on-demand availability of computer system resources, especially data storage and computing power, without the direct management by the users, which means when you save something to the cloud from your PC, from your laptop or desktop at home, you're saving it to another device located somewhere else. It's not really up in the atmosphere in a cloud somewhere. It's just another building with a big bank of computers, and we call that the cloud because you can actually save things to there. OnPassive is doing that. They're also doing cross-platform apps. You've heard about the texts that talk about web apps and how our software works across web apps. That is absolutely innovation in action. A lot of the companies are trying to do that sort of thing. And that's why when you talk about people having products that won't work on this platform or won't work on that platform, it's because they're trying to cross apps and they're incompatible. OnPassive has breached that. They now have all of theirs are being written with software so that it will run across apps and it will run on different platforms, and your mobile devices will run whether they're on the
Yes.
iPhone operating system or whether they're on Androids. It doesn't matter. Same thing with the blockchain that you were mentioning earlier. I mean, the whole point here is that we have entered a whole new age of stuff. Now, last week, or actually a week before, Mr. Mufara talked about us working with blockchain. That's another big thing. And the big deal about blockchain is the security, the traceability of what is out there, right? And this is talked about. Actually, it first started being talked about back in the 1990s at universities. There were a lot of dissertations and stuff done about the traceability and secure of putting thing on a chain, right? A digital chain. However, it was completely brought into view and into the forefront of an emerging technological sense, so to speak, by an academic article that was published by, and you'll probably recognize the name, Satoshi Nakamoto. Everybody knows that name. That pseudonym is for a person or a group of people that created the Bitcoin and developed the first blockchain database back in 2008. So that was a minute ago, right? And accordingly, the chain that they came up with was that it eventually came to blockchain because it needed to be faster. It was kind of slow, so they took a lot of information, they'd put it in blocks, and then they would connect the blocks together, and that became the blockchain, or what we know as blockchain. Now, this combination of blocks made the transmission of the data a whole lot faster. So it became one of the first, best, biggest, most important applications that would securely exchange money without a central bank. That is key. That is huge. And when you talk about that, you've got to talk about the decentralization of financial wealth. And that's another thing Mr. Mufara is doing with the Founder Global Net. But blockchain, think of it as a system, a digital system where you can trace transactions, you can follow them from point to point to point. And they have, it's got nothing to do with an authority or regulation or a global data provider, right? You don't need a bank anymore. That is, man, that's huge. So the beauty of the blockchain is that it's the traceability and the security in it. It's unhackable. It's distributed. In other words, it can go out all over and a lot of people can see it at the same time. It's transparent, meaning that you can see exactly where it's been and what it's doing. It's unalterable. And the most wonderful thing about the whole thing is when you add security and traceability, then you've got something that can be used. But it's not just for crypto. You know, it's not just for Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum or any of these other coins. Because of its security and traceability, it can be used for anything that is a ledger, anything that has transactions in it. So I bring that full circle to think now about OnPassive and all the things that OnPassive is doing, and everything that OnPassive has that's going to be that we transmit in one way or another, that's going to need to be secure. That's what we're using blockchain for. It's not just like money. It can be used to keep many, 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 many things. And they're finding more uses for it, you know, but that's the real strength of it. It keeps it traceable, transparent, it's unhackable, and extremely secure. So we're going to be using that on a lot of things because OnPassive is huge. It's a huge AI IT company, right? And we have a huge digital ecosystem, massive marketing programs and platforms, right? A bunch of physical products, and there's technology being developed for the future. I can't imagine all the ways they're going to be using blockchain, right, to integrate it into what we do and to secure what we have. And like everything else, it's mind-boggling. So regardless, you know, through everything that OnPassive is doing, it's going to be providing a ton of value at every step. And, you know, I'm going to quote Mr. Mufara again. I love this quote: how we do anything is how we do everything. And by that, he's simply saying that we develop something and then we make sure it works and then we scale it. And it's the same way whether we're working with a product, a digital product or a physical product. It's the same way if we're working with data centers. We're going to develop the first one, make sure it works, and then we're going to scale it. We're already working on the second biggest one, and that is huge with what's going on with us, because data centers are absolutely incredibly integrated into our own evolution. OnPassive has become this massive, massive ball of technology rolling with great momentum that's just getting bigger. And as we move into the world and as we open to the public, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And these data centers are going to allow us to evolve comfortably into the position that we become when we start having, 100 million, a billion members, right? Our market cap is the world population on the internet right now. So that is incredible. So we are at the right place at the right time. And I'm sorry, I know I probably get on my soapbox. I don't mean to be, but thank you. A lovely question. You're at the right place at the right time. We're doing great things, and OnPassive, man, they got some answers for us.
Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate you. Brother Pius, you have a question? All right. Unmute yourself, please. Go ahead. Unmute. Thank you. You are muted. Unmute.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Benny. I have a little bit question I need to ask you from the YouTube channel. I was with the church this morning. There's something happened with our church. Then hence Jeffrey said I need to ask this question. Please, are you seeing me very clear?
Yes. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I believe our O-Connect gonna replace Zoom, isn't it? Our O-Connect.
No, we are not replacing, sir. Zoom has their own function.
No, I know Zoom is another company, but our O-Connect is
okay, let's say it this way. O-Connect is OnPassive audiovisual platform. That's it.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
We are not replacing nobody. Thank you.
Yeah, I do understand. So, for an instance, on the church today, because the church is global, so they don't use Zoom anymore because of the quantity. To a larger people, it doesn't contain the 20 or 15,000 they are paying for. So, for an instance, I believe that O-Connect will take many people, and two, if like I have an account and I open one account for the church, how should they use O-Connect in a future time when we go to the world? How should I give it to them? How should I connect it to them?
Let me answer you, sir. This is not a question for Jeffrey. This is small.
Okay.
So, number one, you should know O-Connect is our audiovisual platform. Okay. Now, it has some specific features that I don't know if you know about them. The one of the feature is it is unlimited. So what does that mean? It means that if we go on an O-Connect session, we can go up to 1 billion, 2 billion people on one sitting. That's a feature that every other platform out there don't have now. Then we have translation. So we can sit now, we're having an O-Connect session with Mr. Aj Mufare. Then somebody is in India, he can translate it India, he will be doing code captioning to India, to Hindi or Punjabi, and he will be reading it. Now, it has another feature which is called dual screen sharing. So Mr. Jeffrey Molo can be there, he's sharing his screen, I'm sharing my screen. So you can work with somebody now from each of their out of Australia, you can sign a contract. Now, those are the features that we have. Okay. Then we also have whiteboard collaboration. So which means that I can be writing, like before I had a presentation here, I was doing some writings on the board. So people can be writing as well as the thing is going on and they can be watching it. Now, it depends on you now to make a decision on the accounts. But remember, if you create an account, it is you who needs to do a KYC for that account and not the people. Except while creating the account, you put their names there. For instance, let's say you put the pastor's name or one of the members of the name, chairperson of the name. So OnPassive does business with people it knows. So you must put that name information there. Might be the pastor or your own name, because we need somebody to do a KYC. That's why our CEO says OnPassive doesn't do business with kids. So people above 18 years need to identify themselves, then you do your KYC. So it is up to you now to make that decision if you want to go and tell the church people and take one of their ID and put inside to fill out the form, or you put it on your name. So that is how it is, sir. I think, Jeffrey, that's good enough, right?
Yeah, I got what you said, Michael. I got what, but my question, I don't think you go through what I said. What I said, I knew all those things you said, I knew about it. What I'm saying, if my church, if I want to give it to my church to be using on Zoom regularly, how should they use it? Because everything is on my name. I put everything on my name, but I know this particular account is for the church. So
Okay.
how should
You'll
they
be
use
signing
it?
on to them and leave it to them. Remember, you didn't come here in the beginning. We're talking about single sign-on. That's what I talked about today. So you will sign on into your back office, and you give it to them to work, because those products are being seen in the back office. But I don't know. Maybe when we launch, everyone will be standing as a standalone. But I don't think so, Jeffrey. But I think when you sign on one time, you will see those products. So if you want the church to be using the account, what you have to do is you need to sign on to the account. Then you give authority to them to be using it. Every time they want to use it, you have to sign in, or you give them the sign in and sign out. But remember, OnPassive, we don't want to be doing that because it is a business, okay? So you don't want somebody to have your password all the time, right? So if that is what you feel comfortable of doing, it's up to you. Like I said, we were just talking about single sign-on here before you came, so I'm not sure you watch it completely.
Yeah, I was late because I was on the YouTube channel with the church. So immediately I finished, I just logged in.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I have to. We work for 6 days and give God one day, at least.
It's okay. If you go to this recording, you will get answers to those your questions that you're asking now. I answered a lot of them. I covered a lot of them.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mike. And I need to tell my sister Nadu, Nadu's birthday. Nadu, I'm just trying to say happy birthday to you. 60 years is not 60 days. Congratulations. Nothing will happen to you. Hence, you are alive. You'll be alive to enjoy the wealth of OnPassive. Just keep your faith up. Nothing will happen to you. You are my mate. My birthday is next month, 5th of July. So you are my mate. Happy birthday and enjoy your days.
Thank you, Brother Pius. Are you satisfied with your answer?
Cool. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sister Bridget, come along, please. Unmute.
Okay, yeah, I did. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Jeffrey. Everybody's excited you're here. So my question is for you. My understanding is that our data center will be up and running soon. I'm assuming it's by tomorrow, correct? And what I wanted to know is, how would that impact our business? What is the implication?
Very good question. That's a hot topic too. You're right on. Before I even get into that, I do want to let people know that we spell the word center and data center, C-E-N-T-E-R. I know there were different spellings come up, and Mr. Mufara said in last week's webinar, C-E-N-T-E-R. That's how we spell it. So I'm putting it back out to you guys as well, like I try to do if I think about it. Also, OnPassive is all caps. So the data centers, you're absolutely right. By tomorrow, the first data center is going to be up and should be live. It's under testing now. Everything is being connected and been connected. Supposedly should be ready to rock and roll. So it's looking good. Mr. Mufara talks about this in a way that he says, what we do is we'll create, we stabilize, then we scale it. And that's exactly what he's doing with the first data center. When it comes to our first center, what we're doing first is what we call development work, right? And this is the internal work that we're doing with coding and that sort of thing to develop stuff. And in developing the actual data center, that is also putting the servers in and the cabling in and the physical hardware in, and then making sure that it's all connected and the connections work and the whole 9 yards. And then after that, we start with what we call production work, or we start moving our products and that sort of thing in, one product at a time. They make sure it works within the system, and then they'll add another one and make sure they're talking. They'll add another one. Sooner or later, we've got everything moved over there. And the beauty of that whole scenario or whole evolution is that we're taking it away from the AWS system that we're at now, the Amazon Web Services, where we're paying them to house our stuff. We're going to move it into our own data system, our own data center rather, and that's going to save us a whole lot of money. Secondarily, that's going to create for us a revenue center too, because now we can house other people's data. In creating the data center, it's going to be as Ash does things. I mean, it's state of the art. It's going to be top notch. It's going to have the newest, best technologies. And he talked last week also about the laser technologies that we're going to incorporate into that. He talked about having 2 live internet connections in case we lose one, then we've got redundancy built into the situation there. He's talked about the quickness of the transmission and the data, how fast that data is, and how fast it will recover if we have one data center that goes down, we lose power, say in one region, how another data center is going to immediately pick up the functions of that data center. So again, we have redundancy in the data centers locally and regionally, so that helps us to stay 100% active, so that we have 100% uptime, or so close to 100% that you never know. It's like 99.99999%. Same thing with the latency. It is so small, so it's almost like zero time between something happening and it picking the system up. As Ash says, it won't even blink. So once we migrate everything over, do the production work, we're talking about bringing all the AI stuff over, the marketing stuff, the digital ecosystem, everything, all of our data over there, running it, making sure that it works correctly, making sure that everything's fast and that there's nothing that needs to be tweaked. And then once that happens, then we're actually going to be live. We're going to be online. We're still not going to be running stuff on the data net yet, or the internet, the World Wide Web, because we really need to test these things. And part of that is going to be giving access to the founders of these things so that we can look at them and play with them and push the buttons and icons. And when we have it in the old founder's office, that's what we're talking about, more beta testing once we move it over to the data center. And in doing that, that's going to allow OnPassive again to be collecting data 24/7 with all the stuff that we're doing. So even if you only log on once or twice and click a few buttons, 1 million of us doing all that, they're going to get a lot of data, a lot of testing. So here's a good little gold nugget for you. Laser photonics or fiber optics being used in this is a first. I mean, this is brand new technology. OnPassive's never used it before, but they're getting their hands on it. Their techs are developing more of it. The engineers and stuff putting this stuff together is using it. They know what they're doing with it. When we think of data centers as part of OnPassive, we're looking at a physical asset that is going to help in the evolution of OnPassive as we move forward, because the data centers are going to house everything digital that we are and all of our information systems. And he's gone already from this first data center and is working on another massive data center. So we're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And again, like Mr. Mufar says, how we do anything, we do everything. So by the same way that we build a product with minimum value, and then we add features and serviceability, and we add functionalities, and we make it pretty and easy and fresh and clean and easy, he's going to do the same thing with the data centers, in that we get one going, then we scale it up and make another one and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how we grow. So you're absolutely right. Data centers are huge to us. They're huge to On Passive, and they're going to be huge to the world too, because there's going to be a lot of companies coming to us for our data centers and our ability to house their applications.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey.
Sure. You know, you remind me of Queen Latifah.
I do.
Kathy. Yep.
Sister Bridget, are you satisfied with your question?
Yes, yes. That was awesome. Thank you very much.
All right. I have one more to go. Are you ready for me, Brother Jeffrey?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always.
All right.
Always. You got great questions.
Thank you. Our CEO told us that he has created a new department for fully artificial intelligence driven products, not introduced or hybrid. What does that mean to us?
My word. That means that not only are we smart, but we are super fast and we learn on the fly. Artificial intelligence. Oh man, I'm telling you, especially with the machine learning that Mr. Mufar is using and his techs are developing, that is very, very, very advanced stuff, because the algorithms allow for that intelligence to learn and get better and stronger and faster the more data it gets. And this is a lot when we talk about big data analytics. AI is driving the analytics, and it crunches numbers so fast. I mean, unheard of truckloads of data. But not only does it crunch numbers, it has concepts. It understands. It's like when we talk about the chatbot, that chatbot, the AI understands the intent of the conversation, not just can follow but understands the intent of the conversation. It's emotionally intelligent as well and can converse with you. The beauty, and I didn't mention this a little bit ago, Bridget, but with the data centers and the advancements in these data centers, especially with laser technology and AI technology, the techs are actually going to be able to speak to the AI in natural language, spoken language. And that computer will, it's kind of like HAL 2000, right? You can talk to it. It understands what you're saying, and it understands what you're looking for, and it reaches out to everything that it's ever done to gain better understanding, and it never forgets anything. So this is incredible. When he says we've got a department that is dedicated for AI, that means that that's going to be huge for us, because we're not going anywhere else to get this technology. There's no third party that we've got to rely on. And so there's nothing stopping us. And you got to love that about Mr. Mufar, man, because he's got that mindset that says if we can conceive it, we can achieve it. And when you get these brainiacs together, these techs and developers and these engineers, these colossal smart people that dream and code, they start putting their ideas together. They come up with stuff, and then they start writing code, and they start making the machines do the work, and the machines start learning. Things start taking off. I mean, and they happen so much faster, and they evolve so much faster because they're doing millions and billions of calculations a second, much, much, much bigger and better and sweeter and faster than we ever thought. So when we've got a whole department that is based on AI and developing more AI and developing software that is totally AI driven, that's just telling us we're not going anywhere. We're here for the long stay. We're here for generations. We're here for cutting edge products and brand new 22nd, 23rd technologies, or 22nd and 3rd century technologies. And this is exactly where Mr. Mufar is going. So you got to love that. I mean, I know I do.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
I do love it. Thank you
I have
so
got
much.
to ask you, you primped your hair, you colored it, something, it's gorgeous. That took a lot of time, but I love it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for the answers. We know that you will come back next time to see us. We really appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Engineer Michael, we are
Yes,
done.
Dr. Benny.
Um,
Our big bro, I mean, he's always fired up. When he starts talking, he just give us whatever we want to hear. You know, that's why everybody wants to, I mean, these are people who have gone through a lot of marketing before. They are telling you from experience. So we really appreciate them coming here and spending the time with us. It's really a pleasure. Thank you, big bro. We love you and we thank you for I just say, okay, this is just a beck and call and you'll be here. Thank you very much. So we want to say again to everybody that did not get this from the beginning, the recordings will be out there. When you go through it, the presentation of the single sign-on and user management, what all of those things means, the process of single sign-on. Also, we talked about when you click on google.com to find out our onpassive.com, the process it takes you before you see onpassive.com. I'll send a copy to you, Mr. Jeffrey, so that you can go through it and you get some of those parts that you did not get it. I'll send just the presentation to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Question.
Auntie Bridget, go ahead, please.
Yeah, somebody by the name of Edwin has a question on the chat, but I don't think we're privy to give that information. Do you want to answer that?
I'll answer it. What's the question?
May I ask, please, where the OnPassive data center is currently located?
No.
Okay, the answer to that question is we don't say things that our CEO has not told us, okay? Because OnPassive is based on truth, okay? He has not told us anywhere that the data centers are, and we are not telling you, because if we are telling you, we are not giving you the right information. So everything in OnPassive, we will wait. There are so many moving parts. Let's wait. When it is time, he will tell us, and you will definitely know as a founder. So there is something in English that say, before you run, you need to learn to stand up and walk. So you first crawl, you stand up and walk before you run. You don't just run because you're a human being. No. So for that, we'll wait for any information that our CEO will tell us. They will be able to share it with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Engineer Mike, for this answer, because I know a lot of people don't want to wait. You know, when you join any business, before joining a business, I believe you already have a job. You have a job somewhere, let me say a 9-to-5 job, right? While you wait. Oh, that is the fact. We don't have to rush, because our CEO knows what he's talking about and what he is doing. We have to be patient. That is the answer. Thank you so much. Yes, yes.
Thank you, everybody. So we can unmute ourselves. I will say goodbye to everybody. Thank you very much. We'll wait tomorrow. Please don't forget, we have roundtable tomorrow. On Tuesday, we have O Bless. On Wednesday, we have Julia and Milo. On Thursday, we have Robin, Chris, and Maddie. Then they will have live. The leaders have their lives every day. Then on Friday, we have Friday Night Live. Yeah, so just hook up. I don't want to go sleep. And sometime, if you guys remember the way Mr. Ash launched all founders to us, he just sat in a room. We were in a room like this, all of us in a Zoom, and he was just playing with his phone with the tech team in Hyderabad, and he just told us we are live. So that is something that can happen. We don't want that to happen, and you say, oh, I was not there. No. So let's get engaged. get involved with all of these leaders. We can ask them questions and they will let us know when that time is. The time is around, but you cannot know it without attending the corporate meetings and the big ones that are coming. Please, let's get involved. I don't want to, Mr. Ash, to just sit in a meeting and say we are now live and I don't know, and I cannot catch that, right? Please, let's get involved. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you very much, Big Bro, for coming.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Mike. Thank
We'll
you,
see you
Dr.
again.
Benny.
My pleasure,
you.
everybody. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everyone.
everybody.
Happy
Everybody.
birthday
Thank you.
again,
Thank you,
Nadu.
everybody. Thank you,
guys are
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Dr.
Awesome.
Benny.